Echoes of past lives reincarnation in early Christianity. The idea of reincarnation, the belief that the soul journeys through multiple lives, might seem at odds with modern Christian thought. However, this concept was not always alien to the Christian experience. In the early centuries of the faith, reincarnation was a vibrant thread in the tapestry of Christian belief. The early church father Origen, a prominent theologian of the 3rd century, stands as a key figure who embraced this idea. Origen wrote extensively about the pre-existence of souls, suggesting that they transmigrated through various earthly incarnations. Origen's beliefs were not isolated incidents of unorthodoxy. They resonated with a broader current of thought within early Christianity, particularly among Gnostic groups. The Gnostics, a diverse group of early Christians with their own unique interpretations of Jesus' teachings, saw reincarnation as central to spiritual growth. For them, the material world was a realm of illusion and suffering. Liberation from this cycle of death and rebirth was the ultimate goal. This liberation, they believed, could only be achieved through gnosis, a Greek term for knowledge. This knowledge referred to a deep understanding of one's true nature as a divine spark trapped in the material realm. Through successive lives, individuals could acquire the necessary wisdom and spiritual insight to break free from this cycle and attain union with the divine. The Gnostic Gospels, a collection of texts discovered in Egypt in 1945, provide further evidence of reincarnation's prevalence in early Christianity. These texts, not included in the canonical Bible, offer alternative perspectives on Jesus' teachings. They often depict him emphasizing self-knowledge and the cyclical nature of existence. The shadow of imperial power, Empress Theodora and the Second Council. The acceptance of reincarnation within early Christian circles began to wane with the rise of imperial power in the Roman Empire. Constantine the Great's conversion to Christianity in the 4th century AD marked a turning point. Christianity transitioned from a persecuted faith to the official religion of the empire. This shift brought with it a new set of political realities. The doctrines of the church became increasingly intertwined with the interests of the state. Empress Theodora, the wife of Emperor Justinian I, played a pivotal role in the official condemnation of reincarnation. Theodora's past was colorful, to say the least. She had been an actress and a courtesan before marrying Justinian. This past, according to some historians, weighed heavily on her conscience. The idea that one's actions in past lives could have karmic consequences in future ones was understandably unsettling. In 553 AD, Emperor Justinian convened the Second Council of Constantinople. The council's ostensible purpose was to resolve theological disputes within the church. However, it also provided a platform for Theodora to advance her own agenda. Under her influence, the council declared Origen's teachings, including his belief in reincarnation, heretical. This decision had far-reaching consequences. By condemning reincarnation, the church effectively consolidated its power. It established itself as the sole arbiter of salvation, emphasizing that this life was the only opportunity for redemption. This single-life doctrine reinforced the church's authority, making individuals more dependent on its sacraments and teachings for their eternal fate. A doctrine condemned, the political motives behind suppressing reincarnation. The reasons behind the church's suppression of reincarnation were not solely theological. Political motivations played a significant role. The concept of reincarnation, with its emphasis on personal responsibility and spiritual evolution over multiple lifetimes, presented a potential challenge to the church's authority. Firstly, reincarnation implied that salvation was not a one-time event, but rather a gradual process of spiritual growth. This challenged the church's emphasis on baptism and conversion as singular moments of spiritual transformation. If individuals had multiple lives to attain enlightenment, the urgency and importance of the church's sacraments diminished. Secondly, reincarnation suggested that individuals were ultimately responsible for their own spiritual evolution. This undermined the church's role as the indispensable intermediary between humanity and God. If one's actions in past lives determined their present circumstances, then individuals had a degree of agency that the church's doctrines did not fully acknowledge. Finally, the concept of reincarnation implied a continuous process of judgment and rebirth, as opposed to a single final judgment after death. This challenged the church's teachings on heaven, hell, and the last judgment. If individuals were reborn into new lives based on their past deeds, the fear of eternal damnation lost some of its potency. By suppressing reincarnation, the Church could maintain its control over the narrative of salvation. It reinforced the idea that this life was the only one that mattered, thereby solidifying its authority and influence over the lives of its followers. Whispers in the silence: reincarnation's persistence in mystical Christianity. Despite its official condemnation, the belief in reincarnation did not disappear entirely from the Christian world. It continued to find expression in various mystical traditions within Christianity. These groups, often operating on the fringes of orthodoxy, preserve the ancient wisdom of reincarnation, passing it down through generations in hushed tones and secret teachings. The Cathars, a medieval Christian sect that flourished in southern France, are a prime example. They believed in a dualistic cosmology, pitting a good god against an evil demiurge who created the material world. For the Cathars, reincarnation represented a way to escape the clutches of this evil god and return to the true spiritual realm. Similarly, the Essenes, a Jewish sect contemporary with Jesus, are believed to have held beliefs akin to reincarnation. While their writings are scarce, some scholars argue that their emphasis on purity, ritual cleansing, and the immortality of the soul suggest a belief in a cycle of death and rebirth. These mystical traditions serve as a reminder that the Christian experience has always been diverse and multifaceted. While the official church condemned reincarnation, the idea continued to resonate with those seeking a more expansive understanding of the soul's journey. Hidden in plain sight: reincarnation in Gnostic and canonical texts. The idea of reincarnation, though officially condemned, left its mark on both Gnostic and canonical Christian texts. In the Gnostic Gospel of Thomas, Jesus speaks of the cyclical nature of existence. "Blessed are you who were persecuted but will be gathered together again. Blessed are you who were scattered but will be gathered together into my sheepfold." This passage suggests a gathering not only in the afterlife but also a potential regathering in future lives. The Pistis Sophia, another Gnostic text, portrays reincarnation as a process of purification. It describes souls ascending through different levels of existence, shedding their material attachments and accumulating wisdom with each lifetime. This ascent culminates in a final liberation from the cycle of rebirth and union with the divine. The Gospel of Philip, yet another Gnostic text, emphasizes the importance of spiritual awakening in this life to avoid repeating cycles of suffering. It states, "Those who sow in the winter eat their harvest in the summer. This world is the place of sowing. If a person does not receive his harvest in this world, he will not rise to receive it in the other world." This passage suggests a direct link between one's actions in this life and their experiences in future ones. Intriguingly, even within the canonical Bible, there are passages open to interpretation as hinting at reincarnation. When Jesus is asked about John the Baptist, he replies, "And if you are willing to accept it, he is Elijah who was to come." This statement could be interpreted metaphorically, but it also aligns with the Jewish belief in the return of prophets in new forms. In another instance, Jesus heals a man blind from birth. His disciples ask, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" This question implies a pre-existing state before birth, suggesting the possibility of actions in a past life affecting one's present circumstances. The Book of Ecclesiastes, known for its philosophical musings on life's meaning, contains a line that resonates with the cyclical nature of existence. "What has been, will be again. What has been done, will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun." While open to interpretation, this verse suggests a recurring pattern in human experience, potentially alluding to the cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth. A return to the source: reincarnation and the future of Christian spirituality. The idea of reincarnation, once a vibrant thread in the tapestry of early Christian thought, was officially condemned and driven underground. However, its persistence in mystical traditions and its subtle presence in both Gnostic and canonical texts suggests that it never entirely disappeared from the Christian consciousness. As we navigate the complexities of the 21st century, perhaps it is time to re-examine this ancient concept. Reincarnation, with its emphasis on personal responsibility, spiritual evolution, and the interconnectedness of all life, offers a compelling framework for understanding the human condition. It encourages us to see our lives as part of a larger tapestry, where every action has consequences that ripple through time. This perspective can inspire compassion for ourselves and others as we journey together through the cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. Reintegrating reincarnation into Christian theology would undoubtedly be a complex and challenging undertaking. It would require a re-evaluation of traditional doctrines and a willingness to engage with the diverse strands of Christian history. However, such a re-evaluation could potentially lead to a richer, more nuanced understanding of God's love and justice. If we are willing to embrace the possibility of multiple lives, we open ourselves to a more expansive view of salvation, one that emphasizes growth, learning, and the gradual unfolding of our divine potential. In a world grappling with issues of social justice, environmental destruction, and the meaning of life itself, the wisdom of reincarnation may offer a path toward greater understanding, compassion, and ultimately, a deeper connection to the divine.